whatever YouTube. It's knowledge of self-determination. So I wanted to do another boxing video, but I wanted to. And I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna do a breakdown on certain fighters, on some of the on breakdowns on maybe some of the lesser known fighters. But all of that is yet to be seen. Maybe I'll try to do a breakdown, as many breakdowns as possible on some of the fights that are coming up. But today I want to talk about specifically Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, because I have not done a video on that and breaking that fight down, and I'm probably not gonna like really break it down like to any you know type of anal degree where I'm just like nitpicking, but I'm gonna just give my thoughts on the fight. Really, Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. Now, this is a big fight for the welterweight division. For those of you who don't know, the welterweight division is the 147-pound division, the division that Floyd Mayweather ruled for the past 19, 20 years or so, for the most part. And there's a lot of talent at the 147 division, at the welterweight division. And there are a lot of fights that I'm looking forward to seeing, Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia being one of them. I'm not a fan of Angel Garcia's display at that press conference. Not a fan of that at all. You know, he was being very ignorant, obnoxious, and disrespectful, and I don't appreciate that at all. He used the N-word way too much. He used it to the point to where it was uncomfortable. You understand? I don't care how many black dudes you hang around or who tells you it's okay for you to use that in those circles. You should keep that in those circles. But anyway, it's not about him. Now, I can honestly say though, because of that, I'm kind of leaning towards Keith. No, I'm lying. I was gonna say I'm leaning towards Keith Thurman to win, knock Danny Garcia out because of that. But in all honesty, I was picking Keith Thurman in this fight from the beginning anyway. And this is why. Now, this is not a knock to Danny Garcia at all, because I like Danny Garcia, irrespective of how ignorant his pops is. But I like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia doesn't do everything perfect, but I think the things that Danny Garcia does well, he does them exceptionally well. You know, the things he does right, he does them exceptionally well. Let's see. So Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman can be a little bit unorthodox at times. I'm not a fan of fighters holding their hands down real low and below their waist and this, that, and the third. Now I get it that it's a ploy, a psychological ploy sometimes, but it makes me concerned a lot sometimes. You know. Now when you see it earlier in the fight, you know it's kind of like a psychological ploy to try to bait you in, to get you to kind of bite. You know, they'll kind of like lean in with their hands down to get you to bite, you know, and lean back on that back foot and bang, counter you. You know, they take that little half step back and counter you coming in. They're trying to lure you in. Now, when I see fighters doing it later in the fight, though, to me it's a sign of fatigue, because I've gone through that myself, where you've thrown so many punches that your arms are noodles. Your arms are noodles now, you know, and it gets more and more difficult to hold them up, especially with somebody beating on your chest and your shoulders. You know, fatigue starts to set in. Your muscles start to, body starts to kind of turn against you a little bit. But I get the psychological aspect of that. Keith Thurman does that, you know. He does that in a lot of his fights. However, Keith Thurman can fight off the back foot. Keith Thurman can box. He can use range and distance, and he can use his jab. Does he do it all the time? No, because it is, this knockout, this KOs for life stuff, which he hasn't had a KO in a couple of fights now. He didn't knock out Sean Porter. He didn't knock out Robert Garcia. He didn't knock out Leonard Bundy. But I think Keith Thurman's power is official for the welterweight division. And see, that's the thing. Danny Garcia, this will be his fourth fight at welterweight. And while Danny Garcia has shown that he has, for the most part, a pretty tough chin. He has a chin. The kid can take a punch. I don't think He's been able to take a punch so far, but will he be able to take a punch from a heavy hitter from the welterweight division? You know, I wasn't surprised when Keith Thurman was tagging Sean Porter and vice versa that these two dudes were able to hold up to each other's punches. In fact, I can honestly say Keith Thurman passed a big test for me when he fought Sean Porter, because he took a lot. He ate some of Sean Porter's best punches, and he never went down until he took that body shot. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When people say, "Oh, he's weak to the body," man, dog, when you get hit in your stomach below your rib cage, you are susceptible to that. I don't care if you get hit by the right person at the right time, and you don't get a chance, to kind of tighten up your abs and brace yourself for that punch. A body shot is going to hurt you. I don't care who you are. I mean, seriously, I can remember being a kid and getting harassed by bullies, and boom, quick rapid punch to the stomach, had that big asses bowling over. If you're not prepared and you don't tense up enough, or tense up at the right point, or you don't see the punch coming, it's going to hurt you. Anybody can get hurt with a body shot, man. I'm telling you, right? Anybody can be hurt to the body. So I don't necessarily take that Louis Collazo hurt Keith Thurman to the body. Louis Collazo just got a knockout in his last fight too, which means that he at least has some power. Now Keith Thurman's ability to survive and recover, I think that was a good testimony to his prowess in the ring, especially with Sean Porter, because Sean Porter is a buzzsaw in the ring. This dude is a buzzsaw, like seriously, like a diamond tip drill. This dude can cut through just about anything in the ring. I think that now a lot of people are saying that that if Danny Garcia can lure Keith Thurman into fighting an inside fight, that he has the advantage in an inside fight. Keith Thurman has proven that he has a chin, and Danny Garcia has not proven that he has adequate power for the 140-pound division. To me, he has not shown that his power has moved up with him from, what was it, the 135-pound division. He hasn't shown that his power has followed him, kind of like Adrian Broner. His power didn't follow him from lightweight. Of course, he dropped Sean Porter in that fight with that that quick blinding check left hook that he throws with immaculate precision. But Sean Porter didn't see that coming. As we all know, with the punches you don't see coming, those are the ones that hurt you or get you out of there. But I think Danny Garcia can do a good job on the inside, but Keith Thurman can fight on the inside as well. And again, Danny Garcia has not proven that he can hurt a full-fledged welterweight. He hasn't shown that, at least not to me. I haven't seen it. And again, this is not to take away from the things that Danny Garcia does well. However, Danny Garcia is going to have to use his jab a lot more in this fight with Keith Thurman, because if he doesn't, and if all he relies on is trying to lure Keith Thurman in, and taking it and leaning back and rolling the shoulder so he can counter with that right hand or that hook, that may not work out the way he may like. Also, Danny Garcia, a lot of times he telegraphs his left hand. Like before he throws his left hand, a lot of times it seems like in certain fights he'll drop his left hand. Because he'll have a ridiculously high guard, but he'll have his hands up against his chin, and when he's thinking about throwing his left hand, sometimes it looks like, or right before he throws it, he'll drop it. He'll drop it, and he'll punch to the body, or he'll feint with the right, try to punch to the body. He'll drop it a little bit below his shoulder, and then and probably shoot a jab or paw with a jab or use it as a rangefinder. But he telegraphs that left hand. At least that's what I noticed when he fought Ashley Theophane. And I noticed it when he fought Mauricio Herrera. And by the way, he lost that fight. And this is what I'm saying. Keith Thurman can box, and he can use his athleticism and his footwork to box circles around Danny Garcia, because Lamont Peterson boxed Danny Garcia's head off. He boxed circles around that kid. Mauricio Herrera boxed Danny Garcia's head off. and he beat his face in. Seriously, that dude looked like he got mauled by a pack of wild rabbits. He lost those 2 fights in my opinion. You know, people keep saying he finds a way to win. I'm sorry, but if you lose a fight, if I'm watching a fight and I see you getting beat to the punch and just beat up, period, and the judges give you a gift decision, you didn't do anything to win that fight. You didn't find a way to win. The judges liking you more than the other guy and giving you the fight in a controversial split decision isn't you finding a way to win. He didn't find a way to win against Mauricio Herrera. Mauricio Herrera beat his fucking face in. He didn't find a way to win. The judges found a way to give him the fight. Yeah, people criticize Lamont Peterson, he didn't step on the gas early enough, he slow-strode it. And while Danny Garcia was very active in the first half of that fight, and Lamont Peterson, fought off the back foot, jabbed him up, and picked his spots, and Danny Garcia missed a lot of punches. Let's think about it. There was nothing that Danny Garcia did in the first half of that fight with Lamont Peterson where you'd be like, yo, man, Danny Garcia was throwing smoke at this dude. Like, man, he was clapping that chin. Danny Garcia didn't have the first half of that fight. There was nothing like that. The only thing you can say is, Lamont Peterson didn't throw enough punches. He may not have thrown a lot of punches, but he landed with high accuracy. Danny Garcia threw a lot of punches, and he missed a lot of punches. Those 3 fights he didn't win. I'm sorry. Yes, he has the W's on his record, so technically he won those fights. Or officially he won those fights. But if you technically, in my opinion, technically he didn't win those fights. Officially he won. Technically he didn't win those fights. And I see Keith Thurman having the ring IQ and the athleticism to be able to do the same things that Danny Garcia, that Mauricio Herrera and Lamont Peterson did to Danny Garcia. And when he fought Ashley Theophane, even though this was way before he was a champion, this was a 10-round fight when he fought Ashley Theophane, that went to split decision. Now, take into account, Adrian Broner stopped Ashley Theophane. Of course, it's a little bit, years later, but he stopped him at 147. Danny Garcia fought Ashley Theophane at 135, I think. He couldn't stop him. I don't even think he hurt him in that fight. But anyway, I just wanted to do that quick breakdown on that video and give my thoughts on who I think is going to win that fight. Again, I think that Keith Thurman has the goods to beat him. I don't believe that Danny Garcia has proven that his power has translated up to 147. So to say that Keith Thurman has to be wary of his power, you have to be wary of any boxers. You have to be wary of the punch of any fighter when you're in the ring. Without a doubt. I'm not going to tell him to just go in there and, he would just take it. Because I don't believe that Triple G is just eating punches just because he's fucking. I don't believe that at all. I believe that he has such weak defense that sometimes it's in his best interest to just walk through punches to get off his offense. And when it doesn't work for him, you can see his ass backing off and not so willing to come in. Kell Brook kind of showed you that one. But in any event, again, I need it now. If Danny Garcia wins the fight, no question, no doubt about it. You won't hear me complain about the dude or his power. Especially, I can probably still have an opinion about his power if he doesn't drop him or knock him out. But if he wins it, then I give a kid all the props in the world, all the credit in the world for it. I just don't think that he has what it takes to beat this dude. So far as what I've seen from the both of them. Like I said, the Sean Porter fight was a huge milestone for me in Keith Thurman's career. Because he did a lot better against Sean Porter than Kell Brook did against Sean Porter. He did a way better job against Sean Porter than Kell Brook did. But to each his own. So that's all I got for that right now. And so far as Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia is concerned, I think Keith Thurman wins this fight. Keith Thurman hasn't knocked anybody out in a while. Danny Garcia at this point should be fully acclimated to the welterweight division. So But again, I don't know how Danny Garcia's chin is going to hold up against a full-fledged welterweight. But all of that is to be seen. I got Keith Thurman in this fight. I think he has enough of what it takes to beat Danny Garcia. The ring IQ, the agility, the boxing ability, and the power to, kind of stifle Danny Garcia a little bit and kind of break up, whatever offensive onslaught he may try to bring to Keith Thurman. If Danny Garcia gets overzealous in this fight, I can see him getting put to sleep. If he lunges in with hooks and tries to overpower Keith Thurman, I don't think that'd be a good idea for him. Danny Garcia is a notoriously slow starter in his fights. He has flat feet. But again, like I said, Danny Garcia does some things really well. He's an excellent counterpuncher. It would behoove Keith Thurman not to sit in the pocket and try to trade blows with Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia is quick. He has those quick twitch reflexes, and he's an awesome counterpuncher, But that's my take on it. If I think of anything else, I'll do another video about these two in their matchup. But so far, that's all I got for those two. I got Keith Thurman winning that fight by majority decision. If Danny Garcia, doesn't get too overzealous. If he gets too big for his britches, I could see Keith Thurman disconnecting him from his senses. But that's all I got for right now. It's knowledge of self-determination. Like, learn, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.